Stop. You haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Subscribe now. We have new stories every day. Now, let's go. Adam Brooks woke to the familiar beeping of his alarm clock. 5:30 a.m., like clockwork. He rolled over, his calloused hand reaching for Sarah's warmth, but found only cool sheets. She must have gotten up early again. Pushing himself out of bed, Adam padded to the kitchen. The coffee maker hummed, a fresh pot already brewed. A yellow sticky note clung to the counter. Early meeting. See you tonight. Adam frowned, pouring himself a cup. These early mornings were becoming more frequent. As he sipped the bitter liquid, he noticed Sarah's favorite mug in the sink, a hint of red lipstick on the rim. She never wore lipstick to work before. The front door opened, and Sarah rushed in, her heels clicking on the hardwood floor. "Oh, you're up," she said, slightly breathless. "I forgot my presentation notes." Adam leaned against the counter, taking in her appearance. A new blouse, form-fitting and low-cut. Her hair was styled differently. And yes, that was definitely red lipstick. "Big meeting?" he asked. Sarah nodded, rifling through papers on the dining room table. "Huge. Could mean a promotion if it goes well." She found what she was looking for and stuffed it in her briefcase. "Don't wait up tonight. Drinks with the team after to celebrate or commiserate." Before Adam could respond, she was out the door again. He watched through the window as she climbed in her car and sped away. Something felt off, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. Later that day, Adam stood on the scaffolding of his latest project, overseeing the installation of support beams. His phone buzzed in his pocket. It was James. "Hey man, got a minute?" James's voice was tight, uncomfortable. "What's up?" Adam asked, stepping away from the noise. "Look, I don't want to cause trouble, but I saw Sarah last night." Adam's grip tightened on his phone. "Yeah? Where?" "At Chip here. You know, that fancy French place downtown." Adam's jaw clenched. They had talked about trying that place for their anniversary next month. Said it was too expensive for a regular night out. She wasn't alone, was she? Adam said quietly. James hesitated. Some suit. Tall guy, dark hair. They looked close. Adam's free hand curled into a fist. "Thanks for telling me, James. I gotta go." He hung up, mind racing. It could be innocent. A work dinner, a client meeting. But deep down, Adam knew. The lipstick, the new clothes, the constant meetings and late nights. That evening, Adam sat in the darkened living room, waiting. It was nearly midnight when he heard Sarah's key in the lock. She stumbled slightly as she entered, giggling to herself. "Oh," she exclaimed, startled to see Adam. "You're still up. How was your meeting?" Adam asked, his voice carefully neutral. Sarah's smile faltered for a moment. "Good. Great, actually. We landed the account." "Congratulations," Adam said. "Must have been some celebration." Sarah's eyes narrowed slightly. "What's that supposed to mean?" Adam stood, closing the distance between them. He could smell alcohol on her breath, mixed with a cologne that wasn't his. "You smell nice," he said softly. "New perfume." Sarah took a step back. "I should get to bed. Early start tomorrow." As she turned to leave, Adam caught her wrist. "Who is he, Sarah?" She froze, her back to him. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't lie to me," Adam growled. "I know something's going on." "Who is he?" Sarah wrenched her arm free, whirling to face him. "There's no he. Only you're being paranoid." "Am I?" Adam's voice rose. "The late nights, the new clothes, the secrets. Do you think I'm stupid?" "I think you're jealous," Sarah spat. "I'm finally doing well at work, and you can't stand it. You want me to be that little housewife, don't you? Always here, always available." Adam reeled back as if he'd been slapped. "That's not fair, Sarah. I've always supported your career." "Have you?" She laughed bitterly. Or have you just tolerated it because it didn't interfere with your life? They stared at each other, the air thick with tension. Finally, Adam spoke, his voice low and dangerous. If you're not happy, Sarah, there's the door. But don't you dare accuse me of holding you back. Sarah's eyes widened, filling with tears. For a moment, Adam thought she might confess, might apologize. Instead, she turned on her heel and stormed upstairs, slamming their bedroom door behind her. Adam sank onto the couch, his head in his hands. He'd known something was wrong, but hearing Sarah lie to his face made it real. Unbearable. The next morning, Sarah was gone before Adam woke up. He went through his day in a haze, replaying every moment of the past few months in his head. How long had this been going on? How had he missed the signs? That evening, he decided to follow her. He parked down the street from the bank, watching as employees filed out at closing time. Sarah emerged, looking around furtively before hurrying to her car. Adam tailed her carefully, his heart pounding as she pulled into the parking lot of an upscale hotel. A man was waiting for her, leaning against a sleek sports car, tall, dark-haired, wearing an expensive suit. Adam watched as Sarah practically ran to him, throwing her arms around his neck. The man, David, Adam would later learn, kissed her deeply before opening the passenger door for her. Adam gripped his steering wheel so hard his knuckles turned white. He wanted to jump out, to confront them both, but a cold, calculating part of his brain held him back. No, this required careful planning. He'd make them pay, both of them. Days passed, and Adam said nothing. He watched Sarah lie, watched her sneak around, all while playing the role of devoted husband. He gathered evidence, photos, and text messages he'd surreptitiously copied from her phone. He was building a case, preparing for the moment he'd bring it all crashing down. The breaking point came on a Friday morning. Adam was in the kitchen when Sarah bustled in, overnight bag in hand. "I'm heading out for the weekend," she said, not quite meeting his eyes. "Girls' trip with some friends from work." Adam nodded, taking a sip of his coffee. "Have fun," he said mildly. Sarah hesitated, then added, "My friend David is giving me a ride to meet the others. He's outside now. Actually, do you want to meet him?" The mug in Adam's hand cracked, hot coffee spilling over his fingers. He set it down carefully, turning to face his wife. "If that man comes within a meter of this house," he said, his voice deadly calm, "I'll break his jaw. And if you leave with him now, you'll regret it for the rest of your life." Sarah paled, taking a step back. "Adam, Get out." Adam interrupted. "Go, but know this. When you come back, your life as you know it will be over." For a moment, Sarah looked like she might argue. Then, lifting her chin defiantly, she turned and walked out the door. Adam watched through the window as she climbed into the waiting sports car. As they drove away, he pulled out his phone and dialed. "James, it's time. Let's take them down." The moment Sarah's car disappeared around the corner, Adam sprang into action. He pulled out his phone and dialed the number he'd been holding onto for just this moment. Charles Morgan's office. A crisp voice answered. "This is Adam Brooks. I need to speak with Mr. Morgan immediately. It's about initiating divorce proceedings." There was a pause on the other end. "Mr. Morgan has an opening in an hour. Can you make it?" Adam glanced at his watch. "I'll be there." 45 minutes later, Adam sat across from Charles Morgan, a shark of a divorce lawyer known for leaving opposing parties with nothing but the clothes on their backs. "So, Mr. Brooks," Morgan began, leaning back in his leather chair, "tell me why you're here." Adam's jaw clenched. "My wife is cheating on me. I want her to pay for it." Morgan nodded, his expression neutral. "And you have proof." Adam pulled out his phone, sliding it across the desk. "Everything's there. Photos, text messages, hotel receipts. I've been gathering evidence for weeks." As Morgan scrolled through the phone, his eyebrows rose. "This is comprehensive. You've done half my job for me already." I want it all, Adam said, his voice hard. The house, the savings, everything. I don't care what it takes. Morgan set the phone down, studying Adam. It won't be easy. Hilford is an equitable distribution state. But with this evidence, we might be able to argue for a more favorable split. Are you prepared for a fight? Adam leaned forward, his eyes cold. Mr. Morgan, I'm prepared for war. Over the next few hours, Adam and Morgan hatched a plan. They would move swiftly, cutting off Sarah's access to their joint accounts and gathering more evidence of her infidelity. What about her lover? Morgan asked. This David character, what do we know about him? Adam shook his head. Not much. He's some hotshot lawyer. Married, from what I've gathered. Morgan's eyes glinted. Married, you say? That could be useful. If we can get his wife involved. Find her. Adam's tone was grim. I want her to know exactly what kind of man she's married to. As Adam left Morgan's office, he felt a grim satisfaction. The wheels were in motion. Now it was time to set the stage for Sarah's return. Back at home, Adam methodically packed up Sarah's belongings, clothes, jewelry, personal items. All of it went into boxes. By nightfall, the house looked as if Sarah had never lived there at all. Just as he was taping up the last box, his phone rang. It was James. Hey man, you holding up? James's voice was thick with concern. Adam sighed. I'm fine. Just finished packing up her stuff. Dame, James whistled. You're really doing this, huh? She made her choice, Adam said flatly. Now she has to live with it. There was a pause on the other end. Listen, some of the guys and I are grabbing a beer. Why don't you join us? Adam hesitated. The thought of facing people, of having to explain. But then he realized he had nothing to be ashamed of. He wasn't the one who had broken their vows. You know what? I'll be there in 20. The bar was crowded, but Adam spotted James and a few other guys from the construction crew at a corner table. As he approached, conversations hushed. Adam, James called, raising his beer. Grab a seat, man. Adam slid into an empty chair, nodding at the others. An uncomfortable silence fell over the table. Finally, one of the guys, Mike, spoke up. So, is it true about Sarah? Adam took a long pull from the beer James had pushed his way. Yeah, it's true. Man. Mike shook his head. I'm sorry. That's rough. Don't be sorry, Adam said, his voice hard. Be glad you're not in my shoes, or hers. The guys exchanged glances. What are you gonna do? Another worker, Tom asked. Adam set his beer down with a thunk. I'm gonna take everything. The house, the money, her reputation. By the time I'm done, she'll wish she'd never met me. A heavy silence fell over the table. James cleared his throat. You sure about this, Adam? I mean, I know she hurt you, but... Adam's eyes flashed. But what? You think I should forgive her? Pretend it never happened. James held up his hands. No, man. I've never seen you like this. It's not like you. The old Adam died the moment Sarah decided to sleep with another man. Adam spat. This is who I am now. And if any of you have a problem with that, you can join her on my bad side. The other men shifted uncomfortably, but no one spoke up. Adam drained his beer and stood. Thanks for the drink. I've got work to do. As he walked out of the bar, he could feel their eyes on his back. Let them stare, let them whisper. He didn't care what anyone thought anymore. The next morning, Adam was at the bank the moment it opened. He approached the teller with grim determination. I need to freeze all joint accounts I share with my wife. Sarah Brooks, he said, sliding his ID across the counter. The teller, a young woman with a nervous smile, tapped at her computer. Mr. Brooks, that's a pretty big request. Are you sure? Adam cut her off. I'm sure. And I need it done now. I'll need to get a manager, she stammered. Then get one. Adam snapped. Minutes later, A middle-aged man in a crisp suit approached. "Mr. Brooks, I'm Mr. Johnson, the branch manager. Is there a problem?" Adam fixed him with a steely gaze. "The problem is my wife is cheating on me, and I need to protect my assets. Now, are you going to help me, or do I need to take my business elsewhere?" Mr. Johnson's eyes widened slightly, but he quickly composed himself. "Of course, Mr. Brooks. Let's step into my office, and we'll take care of this right away." An hour later, Adam walked out of the bank, a grim smile on his face. Sarah's financial lifeline had been cut. Now for the next phase of his plan. That afternoon, Adam sat in his car outside a modest suburban home. According to Morgan's investigator, this was where Rita Johnson, David's wife, lived. Adam took a deep breath, steeling himself for what he was about to do. He approached the front door and rang the bell. A moment later, a petite woman with kind eyes answered. "Can I help you?" Adam cleared his throat. "Mrs. Johnson, my name is Adam Brooks. I need to talk to you about your husband." Rita's brow furrowed. "Is David okay? Has something happened?" "He's fine," Adam said, "but you might want to sit down for this." Inside, Adam handed Rita a manila envelope. "I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but your husband is having an affair with my wife." Rita's hands shook as she opened the envelope, her face growing pale as she looked at the photos inside. "No," she whispered. "This can't be." "I'm afraid it is," Adam said softly. "I have text messages, hotel receipts. It's all there." Rita looked up at him, tears in her eyes. "Why? Why are you telling me this?" Adam met her gaze steadily. "Because you deserve to know the truth, and because I'm about to rain hell down on both of them. I thought you should be prepared." Rita's expression hardened. "What are you going to do?" "Everything I can to make them pay," Adam said. "I'm filing for divorce. I'm going after Sarah's job, her reputation, everything. And David, well, I imagine a cheating scandal won't do much for his career." Rita was quiet for a long moment. Then, to Adam's surprise, she reached out and squeezed his hand. "Thank you for telling me, Mr. Brooks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some calls to make." As Adam left Rita's house, he felt a mix of emotions: guilt for bringing pain to an innocent woman, but also a fierce satisfaction. The net was closing in. The next few days passed in a blur of legal meetings and financial maneuvering. Adam threw himself into his work, pushing his crew harder than ever. If anyone noticed the change in him, they were smart enough not to mention it. Finally, Sunday evening arrived. Adam sat in the darkened living room, waiting. At precisely 8:43 p.m., he heard a key in the lock. Sarah stepped inside, her weekend bag slung over her shoulder. She flipped on the light and froze, seeing Adam. "Oh," she said, her voice small. You're still up." Adam stood slowly. "Welcome home, Sarah. Have a nice weekend." Sarah's eyes darted around the room, taking in the missing photos and the empty spaces where her things had been. "Adam, what?" "Save it." Adam cut her off. "I know everything, Sarah. About David, about the affair. All of it." Sarah's face crumpled. "Adam, please, I can explain." "Explain?" Adam's laugh was bitter. "Explain how you've been with another man for months. How you lied to my face over and over." Tears spilled down Sarah's cheeks. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I never meant. Never meant for me to find out." Adam finished. "Well, guess what? I did. And now you're going to pay for it." Sarah's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" Adam smiled, a cold, hard expression that made Sarah take a step back. "I mean, I've frozen our accounts. I'm filing for divorce, and I'm going to take everything, Sarah. The house, the savings, your reputation. By the time I'm done, you'll have nothing." "You can't do that." Sarah gasped. "Watch me." Adam growled. "Oh, and you might want to call your boyfriend. His wife knows too." All the color drained from Sarah's face. "No," she breathed. "Adam, please, we can work this out." "There's nothing to work out," Adam said, moving past her to the door. "Your things are in boxes on the porch. I suggest you find somewhere else to stay tonight." As he stepped outside, Sarah called after him, her voice breaking. "Adam, wait, where are you going?" Adam turned, fixing her with a final icy stare. "I'm going home. You're going to hell." With that, he walked away, leaving Sarah sobbing on the doorstep of the life she'd thrown away. The next morning, Adam woke early, his mind already racing with the day ahead. He barely slept, replaying Sarah's tearful pleas over and over in his head. But each time he felt a flicker of sympathy, he reminded himself of her betrayal. His phone buzzed. A text from James. "You okay, man? Heard Sarah came back last night." Adam typed back, "I'm fine. It's done. Meeting with the lawyer again today." As he was getting ready to leave, another text came through, this one from an unknown number. "It's Rita Johnson. Can we meet? There's something you should know." Adam's curiosity piqued. He quickly replied, arranging to meet Rita at a coffee shop near his office. An hour later, Adam sat across from Rita, both clutching steaming cups of coffee. Rita looked tired, her eyes red from crying. "Thank you for meeting me," she said, her voice soft. I wanted to tell you what happened after you left yesterday." Adam leaned forward. "Go on." Rita took a shaky breath. "I confronted David. He tried to deny it at first, but when I showed him the evidence..." She trailed off, her hands tightening around her cup. "What did he say?" Adam prompted. "He broke down," Rita said, a hint of disgust in her voice. "Begged me not to leave him. Said it was just a fling, that it didn't mean anything." Adam snorted. "And you believe that?" Rita's eyes flashed. "Of course not. I told him I wanted a divorce. And then I called my father." Adam raised an eyebrow. "Your father?" "He's a senior partner at David's firm," Rita explained. "I told him everything." By this morning, David had been asked to resign. A slow smile spread across Adam's face. "You destroyed his career." Rita met his gaze steadily. "He destroyed our marriage. I just returned the favor." They sat in silence for a moment, two people united by shared betrayal. Finally, Adam spoke. "Thank you for telling me this. It helps." Rita nodded. "I thought you should know. And I wanted to ask, how are you handling things with Sarah?" Adam's jaw clenched. "I'm taking her for everything she's worth. House, savings, all of it." "Good," Rita said firmly. "Make her pay." As they parted ways, Adam felt a renewed sense of purpose. He wasn't alone in this fight. Later that day, Adam sat in Charles Morgan's office, listening as the lawyer laid out their strategy. "We've got a strong case for an uneven split of assets," Morgan was saying. "Given the evidence of infidelity and the fact that you've been the primary breadwinner." Adam cut him off. "I don't want an uneven split. I want it all." Morgan leaned back in his chair, studying Adam. "Mr. Brooks, I understand you're angry, but the courts..." "I don't care about the courts," Adam snapped. "I care about making her suffer, whatever it takes." Morgan sighed. "All right, we'll push for maximum damages. But I need to warn you, this could get ugly." Adam stood, his eyes cold. "It's already ugly, Mr. Morgan. I'm just returning the favor." As he left the office, Adam's phone rang. It was his foreman, Mike. "Boss, we got a problem at the site. One of the support beams isn't up to code. We need you here ASAP." Adam cursed under his breath. "I'm on my way." At the construction site, Adam threw himself into work, grateful for the distraction. He spent hours poring over blueprints, arguing with inspectors, and coordinating with his team. As the sun began to set, James approached him, looking concerned. Man, you've been at it for hours. Maybe it's time to call it a day. Adam wiped sweat from his brow. I'm fine. There's still work to be done. James hesitated, then pressed on. Look, I know you're going through a lot, but running yourself into the ground isn't going to help. Adam rounded on him. You don't know anything about what I'm going through, so why don't you mind your own business? James held up his hands. Whoa, easy. I'm just trying to help. I don't need help, Adam growled. I need people to do their jobs and leave me alone. As James walked away, shaking his head, Adam felt a twinge of guilt, but he pushed it aside. He couldn't afford to show weakness now. Days turned into weeks. Adam threw himself into his work with a fervor that both impressed and worried his crew. The divorce proceedings dragged on, each meeting leaving Adam more determined to crush Sarah. One evening, as Adam was leaving the construction site, he spotted a familiar figure waiting by his truck. It was Sarah. She looked terrible, her clothes wrinkled, dark circles under her eyes. As Adam approached, she took a hesitant step forward. Adam, she said, her voice trembling. Please, can we talk? Adam's face hardened. We have nothing to talk about. Sarah reached out, grabbing his arm. Please, just listen. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. But this vendetta, it's destroying both of us. Adam yanked his arm away. You destroyed us when you decided to sleep with another man. Everything since then, that's on you. Tears spilled down Sarah's cheeks. I'm sorry. God. Adam, I'm so sorry. I'll do anything to make this right. Please, just tell me what I can do. For a moment, just a moment, Adam felt his resolve waver. Then he remembered the nights he'd spent alone, imagining Sarah in David's arms. You want to know what you can do? Adam's voice was ice. You can lose everything. Your job, your friends, your dignity. You can feel what it's like to have your whole world ripped away. Then maybe you'll understand what you did to me. Sarah stumbled back as if she'd been slapped. Adam, please. Goodbye, Sarah. Adam climbed into his truck. As he drove away, he watched Sarah crumple to the ground in his rearview mirror. The next morning, Adam received a call from Charles Morgan. Mr. Brooks, I have some news. The lawyer said, an undercurrent of excitement in his voice. Sarah's lawyer reached out. They want to settle. Adam sat up straighter. Settle? On what terms? They're offering to give you the house, the majority of the savings, basically everything we asked for, Morgan explained. It seems your wife is eager to end this. A slow smile spread across Adam's face. She's desperate. Good. Tell them we'll consider it. But we want more. There was a pause on the other end. Mr. Brooks, this is already a very favorable settlement. Pushing for more could backfire. I don't care, Adam said firmly. I want her to walk away with nothing. Make it happen. As the weeks passed, Adam watched with grim satisfaction as Sarah's life fell apart. Through the grapevine, he heard she'd lost her job at the bank. Apparently sleeping with clients was frowned upon. She was staying with her sister, Olivia, who made no secret of her disgust with Sarah's actions. One day, as Adam was grabbing lunch at a deli near the construction site, he overheard a familiar voice. Peering around the corner, he saw Sarah sitting with another woman. April, if he remembered correctly, one of Sarah's co-workers from the bank. I can't believe David did this to you, April was saying, her voice dripping with false sympathy. After everything you went through. Sarah's shoulders sagged. I was so stupid. I thought he loved me. April patted Sarah's hand. Oh, honey, men like that don't love anyone but themselves. Adam leaned in closer, straining to hear. I've lost everything, Sarah whispered. My job, my marriage, my friends. And for what? A man who was sleeping with half the women at the bank. Adam's eyes widened. So David hadn't just been seeing Sarah. He'd been playing them all. As he watched, April's expression changed. a sly smile spreading across her face. "Well, not all of us were as naive as you, sweetie. Some of us knew exactly what we were getting into with David." Sarah's head snapped up. "What? You? You and David?" April laughed, a cruel sound. "Oh, don't act so shocked. David and I have been seeing each other for months, even before you came along." Sarah stood abruptly, her chair screeching against the floor. "You knew. You knew he was married, that he was seeing me, and you still—" April shrugged, examining her nails. "It's just business, Sarah. Some of us know how to play the game without losing everything." As Sarah fled the deli, tears streaming down her face, Adam felt a strange mix of emotions. Satisfaction at seeing Sarah suffer, yes, but also a twinge of pity. He pushed the feeling aside. There was no room for pity in his plan. The final nail in the coffin came a week later. Adam received a call from Charles Morgan. "It's done," the lawyer said. "Sarah's agreed to our terms. She's walking away with nothing but her personal belongings." Adam closed his eyes, letting the news wash over him. "It's over." "It's over," Morgan confirmed. "Congratulations, Mr. Brooks. You won." As Adam hung up the phone, he expected to feel elated, triumphant. Instead, he felt empty. He wandered through the house. His house now, legally and completely. The rooms felt cavernous, echoing with memories of a life that no longer existed. Adam found himself in front of the mantel, staring at a photo he'd forgotten to take down. It was from their wedding day. Sarah was beaming, her eyes locked on his as they danced their first dance as husband and wife. For the first time since this all began, Adam allowed himself to really feel the loss, not just of his wife, but of the future they'd planned together, the children they'd talked about having, the life they'd dreamed of building. A single tear slid down his cheek. He brushed it away angrily. No, he wouldn't mourn what Sarah had thrown away. He was better off without her. The next day, Adam threw himself into work with renewed vigor. He'd won a major contract to build a new luxury housing development. As he stood at the construction site, overseeing the early stages of the project, he felt a sense of purpose return. James approached, a blueprint in hand. "Hey, boss, got a minute?" Adam nodded, grateful for the distraction. "What's up?" As James explained a potential issue with the foundation plans, Adam found himself truly engaged for the first time in months. This was what mattered now: his work, his future. Weeks turned into months. The divorce was finalized, Sarah fading into a distant memory. Adam threw himself into his projects, his company flourishing under his renewed focus. One evening, as Adam was locking up the site office, he spotted a familiar figure waiting by his truck. It was Rita Johnson. "Rita," he said, surprised. "What are you doing here?" She smiled, a hint of nervousness in her eyes. "I hope you don't mind. I heard about your new development, and well, I wanted to see how you were doing." Adam leaned against his truck. I'm okay. The divorce is final. Work is good." Rita nodded. "And Sarah?" Adam shrugged. "Gone. Last I heard, she moved out of state, started over somewhere new." They stood in silence for a moment, the weight of shared experience hanging between them. Finally, Rita spoke. "I'm glad you're doing well, Adam. You deserve better than what happened to you." Adam met her gaze. "So did you." Rita smiled, a genuine expression that lit up her face. Maybe we both deserve a fresh start." As they stood there, the setting sun painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Adam felt something he hadn't experienced in a long time: hope. He didn't know what the future held, but for the first time since Sarah's betrayal, he was ready to find out. Adam looked at Rita, a small smile tugging at his lips. "You know, I could use a break. Want to grab a coffee?" Rita's smile widened. "I'd like that." As they walked away from the construction site, Adam glanced back one last time. The skeletal framework of the new development stood silhouetted against the darkening sky, a new beginning rising from the ashes of the old. Adam turned back to Rita, feeling lighter than he had in months. The past was behind him. The future, uncertain but full of possibility, lay ahead. And this time, he'd face it on his own terms. Thanks to everyone who took the time to listen to today's stories. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share your thoughts on the events in the comments below. Take care.